Om Sri Sai Ram. हर गंग जटाधर गौरी शंकर गिरिजामन रमणा जय मृत्युंजय महादेव महेश्वर मंगल शुभ चरणा नंदिवाहना नागभूषणा निरुपमगुण सदना नटन मनोहर नीलकंठ हरिनटन मनोहर नीलकंठ साई नीरजदल नयना साई नीरजदल नयना. ओम श्री साई राम. They say to love a person, one must first know the person. But to know God, we first love our God. In human affairs, knowing the person precedes loving the person or dealing with any person or maintaining any relationship with any person. That is safest way of dealing with human relationships. Without knowing a person, without understanding the person's intentions, we should not and we must not start loving and trusting or dealing with any person for that matter. But when we are dealing with God, even to know ABC of divinity, the God, we must first love Him and love Him intensely, fearlessly, selflessly, and sufficiently enough. Now, why and how this difference? Because normally we have seen that we do exactly the opposite. We fall in love with any person, we deal with any attractive proposals, we even enter into relationship on social chatting through most unreliable Facebooks and whatnot. And then most of the time, most of us have had very bad experiences. But while dealing with God, we first want to know everything about God before even surrendering, forget loving. As Swami said, when you go to a barber, you put your head down without questioning. Even in a new shop, in a new city or township, when you go for haircut, go to a barber shop, you have to put your head down. You go down and you are totally wrapped. You can't defend yourself in any eventuality. And the barber is holding a sharp instrument, a scissor or a blade or a razor, whatever. You close your eyes and go to your dream world and tell him you cut my hair, and when it is finished, you just tell me. So much trust upon a barber with sharp instruments in his hand, unknown person, because we trust him. Our hands are as good as tied, they are inside that gown which they put upon us. We give keys to our driver and we trust him that he will take us or our family safe wherever we want to go. Sometimes a taxi driver, first time driver, we don't know him, but we trust him. But when it comes to trusting in God, surrendering to God, bowing down our head to God, we question. We want to be logical, we want to be rational. We care for those who would never cry for us. We cry for those who would never care for us. And we call this our own foolishness as sign of our progress. Now, how to actually deal with divinity and deal in the world? Swami has given very practical things. This avatar has come to guide us, not only in matter spiritual. We all know he has guided millions in their business, in their profession, in their art, in their personal affairs, like head of family, like CEO, like an expert advisor, be it a singer, a musician, anyone, because he is awareness. He is that light of love that brings awareness. When we say that first we must understand the person and then start loving him, it is like that first I want to learn swimming and then enter the water. Because true understanding can come only with true awareness. And true awareness, the light of awareness, can come only from true love. Love is the light that brings awareness, and awareness is the light that brings understanding. Lack of love brings misunderstanding. Now, what to do? Simple. In our human dealings, our human mind tends to find one mistake, one fault in others, and dislike or distance or hate that person for that particular fault or mistake. Whereas a God mind would search for one good quality in the other person, one positive trait in other person, and love him for that. But an enlightened soul like Mother Teresa or Shabri, they are enlightened souls with enlightened faith and enlightened love. Their love is not impulsive or blind, as I say again and again. From where did the enlightenment come to these souls? First, they got connected with the source and they keep connected with the source. And the source is their own highest, noblest, truest self, the God self, the divine self. If we keep connected our minds to the source, our own highest self, we have our body self. But Swami says your body is a limited company. There are parameters. Our BP, if goes beyond the parameters of 120 by 80, we have to call a doctor. Even if it is less, low BP, it is dangerous. So there are parameters even for our body temperature, for our blood pressure, for our sugar levels, for our urine output. Everything in body has parameters. Our ears have some limits to listen to any decibel of voice. Beyond that, they go deaf. Our eyes have limits to look at the intensity of the light. Beyond that, it will go blind. We know this. But this so-called modern education and modern life has robbed us of our common sense and our divine sense, what we actually call sixth sense. There was a time we used to remember our telephone numbers of all our relatives and friends, maybe in hundreds. They will be at the back of our mind. Like this, we'll know. I still remember my numbers of my old friends in the hostel, in my house, in my theaters. But today's generation, even we, when we get addicted to mobiles, the latest gadgets, we can't even remember cell number of our wife or our children. We have to write it down somewhere or save it in some mobile somewhere. People keep, for this precise reason, one more than one gadgets with them so that they can feed their numbers, important contacts. If one is lost, at least second one option is available. Nothing here. I remember in my final years engineering, there was a equation. The equation ran in two lines. It was a very big equation. Every boy, he would write it down, even the most honest boy, on his hand or shirt or any paper. Because if the question appears based on that equation, your 16 marks are gone. But I, being Swami's child, I knew that I can't do that. So one day I wrote down that equation, looked at the equation intently for few minutes, maybe 5 minutes even. Put it in my screen of my mind, went to the toilet, tore the equation, that page and flushed it out. I knew that it is now here. That confidence is gone. Now our entire confidence is on our gadgets. We have lost our common sense because it is as simple as that. What we do not use, we lose. We have stopped using our common sense, so we have lost it. There is no creativity. Everything is cut, copy, and paste. If we really and truly want to understand the person, that is why in Mumbai, my own hostel mate told me, that every Saturday there are 10 engagements done, and by next Saturday, out of 10, 9 are divorced. Because there is no love, no awareness, no trust, no faith, no enlightened love, no enlightened faith. Everything is impulsive, emotional, calculated. This education, this society, this modern way of life has made us so calculative and competitive. We want to jump from one option to another option, the better option we feel, and we don't feel bit about the previous option. We just jump like monkey minds. We are never stable because we are never sure. We have no confidence. The generation has lost the confidence. Self confidence is confidence in the self. When you do not know yourself, how you are going to develop confidence in yourself? I had told one small real life incident that I heard many years back. A doctor lost his memory in an accident. He was able to function as a doctor, but he forgot who he is. He lost his own consciousness, his own identity was lost, his memory was lost. He could not relate himself to his wife, to children, to mother, father, but he could mechanically do whatever he was trained to do. And he lived that life without being conscious of his own identity for 10 to 12 long years. And when after 10 to 12 long years he again regained his memory through one more accident, he could not recognize his own children because 12 years they had grown from boy to a man. His wife had grown from young lady to an old lady. His parents had died. Father was dead, mother was old, hospitalized. He could not relate to the present because he did not live those 12 years conscious of his own true identity. We have seen in real life and real life, the movies also, but in real life also, when a grown up child comes to know that the parents whom he or she used to consider as parents are not their real, his or her real parents, but they are the people who adopted him or her in childhood due to certain situations from some known or unknown person. The moment he or she comes to know that he is not the child of these parents, that person loses the interest in every relationship, in all the properties that he or she may have through those adopted parents. We are living our lives on borrowed faith and adopted identities. That is why there is no self confidence, there is no self satisfaction. Confidence comes from confidence in the self. And when there is no identity, we do not know who I am really. This body keeps changing every moment. I may not see it every moment, but it is happening scientifically. Rationally, if somebody gives me my photograph of when I was born, I will not be able to relate to that photograph. Even if my mother tells me, I will believe her that it is me, but I will not be able to relate to that small newborn child. I was told that when I was born, I was black. My color changed after 40 days. My mother told me. I have no idea. How can I relate to that body which was born black 68, 69 years before? So body is changing, mind is changing every moment. So who am I? This body belongs to me, the mind belongs to me, but I am not the body. What belongs to me cannot be me. Who am I? That awareness can come when we start loving that I. We did not go and love A, B, C, the physical relationships initially. We had to water the roots. We are spending all our money, all our time, all our energies procuring and accumulating water to water the flowers, to water the leaves, to make our house neat, clean, beautiful, five-star, everything. But we are watering the flowers, the fruits, the leaves, and the roots are going dry. Little sprinkles of water when we water the flowers and all, some drops fall down and reach, but we are not actually watering the roots. Whereas the wise step would be if we water the roots properly, regularly, as required, then that water, along with the minerals, the energy from the soil, would reach every branch, every leaf, every flower, every fruit, and make it sweet and blossom into a fragrant flower or fruit. Is it not? But we always do the opposite because we have been taught, we have been programmed. We want to be in competition with our own selves. We are never told the truth that there is only one. We are always taught and programmed that there is always another. Even a newborn baby is jealous of his sister or brother, even the twins, because our minds are programmed I and they. It is like Swami gave a beautiful example when a dog is pushed inside a room which walls are made up of mirror, the roof is mirror, the flooring is mirror, the door, back and front, everything is of mirrors of different angle of refractions. When the dog enters inside, he finds so many dogs trying to bark at him and attack him. Whereas it is he who is barking and attacking his own image. And he goes mad. He gets frustrated. He jumps because when he looks down, he finds some dog trying to attack him from the uh, floor, from the roof, from all the walls all around. So, how does he survive? He's always stressed. We have lost our balance. We have lost our beauty. We have lost our truth. We have lost our goodness. And we dare call this foolishness as sign of our progress. This universal God, the cosmic authority, has come precisely for that, not for opening institutions and running an organization or hospitals. They are just byproducts. They are just to attract. Like Mother Yashoda used to attract Krishna with butter in one hand and stick behind her. These are just incidental. Like cow gives milk for the calf, not for us. We take advantage of that milk, that flow. God has come to love us and be loved by us. I separated myself from myself to love myself, to know myself. First love myself, then know myself. Any situation, any person, Swami has taught me personally. I give an example. There are many, but one is outstanding. I mentioned in one of the videos that I used to hate one subject in my finals, geology, all stones. All other mathematical equations, designing, everything. I read once and I know it. I never used to repeat my books or any equations. Once I understand, that's it. But this book, I'll just look at the book, open it, and close it because I did not like geology, the stones. And as I mentioned, when I on that Saturday, Sunday, I've been to Ulhasnagar, and by that time I was a member of Ulhasnagar Samiti. And every Sunday they would ask me to give a talk after bhajans. I was youngest, but because I was frequent visitor to Swami Puttaparthi, so I knew and I was regular in reading and giving talk even in hostel. So they used to ask me to give talk. So on that day I gave talk on love. And I heard, I never prepare my talks right from day one. Swami, he has given me that grace. I don't prepare my talks. I actually enjoy my talks if they are recorded and I listen to them after the recording. And I learn from my own talks. In that particular talk, it seems that Swami made me say certain things that love brings understanding and lack of love brings misunderstanding. And after the talk and Mangal Arati, we normally sit there for 5 minutes of Jyoti meditation. In that meditation, a thought came to me. Swami put this thought that because you don't love your subject geology, so you're not able to understand and appreciate it. If you start loving, you will start understanding. That gave me some enlightenment. Immediately I went home, packed up my dinner, and I had to catch a train from Kalyan to Andheri via the other 2.5 hours journey. We had our first class pass, coolly, Sunday, no rush. I was carrying my geology book, the same book which I would open and close. I started reading with love. I love geology because I practiced this for 3 minutes in the mandir itself, there in bhajans, Lal Chandani Bhajan Center, I remember. So I started loving and understanding every word of it. Oh, geology is describing the qualities of marble, the granite, the stones, and all the images and idols of God are made out of stone. Somebody has chiseled it out. The image of Krishna out of a marble, out of a stone. So I started loving it and understanding it so much that did not lift my eyes. And when I reached hostel again after having bath and everything again, in one day the entire book was in wow. And I secured same first class honors marks in all the subjects, including geology. Same. This is the power of love. We don't have to go and love physically. This is the mistake we do. Anybody we like, we get impressed and we go and shake hands and then go to any extent and then repent. Nothing. Love is not being impulsive or emotional. Love is the quality of God. Love is God. God is love. It is very sacred. What we call love is totally opposite. It has its own value. Nothing wrong. As we eat food, we drink water, they have their own. You can't say that you can't starve your body. So our mind also needs certain things, some entertainment, some indulgences. Let it be. Swami says, no, let it be. You don't have to starve. Just be in limits. Life is a limited company. Don't cross the limit. Like even your parameters of your vital parameters, they should always be between those permissible limits. But the love is purity, love is divine, love is God's love. Even if you have to love somebody, you have to channelize the love of God. First, you do not have, you cannot give what you do not have. How can you channelize God's love when you do not know God's love? And this is the, again I say, this is the most golden opportunity ever in human history, recorded or unrecorded, when the very embodiment of God has, love has come down, walking on two legs. And he has loved millions one to one, heart to heart, love to love relationships. Not one or two. There is no exclusive rights on Swami of anyone. Anybody claiming to be Satyasai Baba's a special instrument or is all stupidity, childish. It is like anybody claiming that sun belongs to me or the moon belongs to me. Childish. He is universal. But he has come to become our personal, but not exclusively personal. I belong to Krishna, Krishna belongs to all. Radha Bhakti. We all have that lifetime privilege, which may not come to us in millions of births again, to love this God intensely, unreservedly, wherever we are. Don't become his devotee. Don't follow his teachings also. Don't join his organization if you don't want to. No ways. I used to tell when people I used to talk in trains or anywhere, they in the end I would request, please don't come to Puttaparthi after listening to my talk. You have to love him and be with him or read his books, whatever, wherever you are. There is so much crowd, we don't get place in Puttaparthi. So we are not his marketing agents or anything. No ways. Nobody dare to be. He doesn't need anyone. Sun God does not need anyone to announce his arrival. He is available to all. We have to just open the mind's windows and doors. Welcome him. Not with Mangala Arati and all. Welcome him means just open it. He will rush. He is not breaking open. Those in exceptional cases, he has done that also. I'll give one or two instances of that African man, the black dacoit, bank robber, how he breaks open the hearts of such criminal. He himself told this in Puttaparthi in our study class in front of Mr. Kasturiji. I was present, I know him. It is mentioned in Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Many people. I have first-hand account from direct horse's mouth of, because used to live those days. We would talk to anybody and everybody. There was no this security bars and nothing. Anybody coming to Swami, we will sit after darshan. We will sit on the sand and then do only this. How did you come to Puttaparthi and what? So many stories were told first-hand, direct. We would actually wait outside as soon as the interview is over, catch hold of the person and ask him how he came and what did Swami do inside the interview. That was our only sadhana. That's it. Listening to his glory, his Bhagavatam. And his Bhagavatam is available with